Most people never start woodworking for one simple reason. They believe it's expensive. They picture a huge garage filled with machines, giant table saws, walls covered in tools, and thousands of dollars invested before the first cut is even made. That belief kills momentum before it even begins. The truth is much simpler. You do not need a full workshop. You do not need every tool, and you definitely do not need to spend thousands of dollars. You can start with less than $200 if you focus only on what truly matters. The biggest mistake beginners make is buying too much too soon. They walk into a hardware store excited, grab a giant combo kit, and leave with tools they don't even know how to use. Then those tools sit in a corner collecting dust. Woodworking is not about having more tools. It's about having the right tools. A small, smart setup will beat a big, confusing one every single time. The foundation of woodworking is not cutting. It is measuring. If your measurements are wrong, everything else falls apart. That is why the first thing you need is a solid tape measure. Nothing fancy, just reliable, easy to read, and accurate. Add a combination square. This simple tool helps you mark straight lines and perfect 90-degree angles. It may look basic, but it protects you from crooked shelves and wobbly tables. Then grab a pencil or marking knife. Clean marks lead to clean cuts. These three small tools cost very little, but they control the quality of everything you build. Think of it like cooking. If your measurements are off, the recipe fails. Woodworking works the same way. Precision is power, and precision is cheap. Now, let's talk about cutting. Many beginners think they need a large table saw. You don't. A basic circular saw is more than enough to start. It is versatile, compact, and affordable. With a straight guide, it can make clean, accurate cuts for most beginner projects. If your budget is even tighter, a sharp handsaw can do the job. It takes more effort, but it builds skill fast. Skill is more valuable than speed in the beginning. Clamps are another tool beginners often ignore. That is a mistake. Clamps hold your wood steady while you cut, drill, or glue. Without them, pieces move. When pieces move, mistakes happen. You do not need 10 clamps. Start with 2 or 4 solid ones. They are inexpensive, but they make your work cleaner and safer. Next comes drilling and fastening. A cordless drill is one of the best investments you can make. It drills holes, it drives screws, it saves time. You do not need the most powerful version on the shelf. A basic 12V or entry-level 18V drill works perfectly for beginner projects. Add a small set of drill bits and screwdriver bits, and you are ready to assemble almost anything simple. Shelves, small tables, storage boxes, workbenches. Keep it simple. Here is where smart buying matters. Many brands charge more for the name than the function. For a beginner, durability and consistency matter more than brand prestige. Read reviews. Look for a balance between price and reliability. There is no prize for overspending. Now let's talk about sanding and finishing. This is where average projects turn into impressive ones. You can build something solid, but if it feels rough and looks unfinished, it will never feel complete. A simple variety pack of sandpaper is enough to start. Medium grit to shape, fine grit to smooth. You can use a sanding block, which is very affordable, or invest in a basic orbital sander if your budget allows. Even a small finishing upgrade makes your work look professional. Many beginners skip sanding because they're excited to finish fast. That rush shows in the final result. Woodworking rewards patience. The smoother the surface, the more satisfying the final product. Now let's talk about your workspace. You do not need a custom-built hardwood bench. A sturdy table works. 2 sawhorses and a sheet of plywood work. Many people delay starting because they think they need the perfect setup. The perfect setup is the one that lets you begin. You can upgrade later. Right now, you need function, not perfection. Safety matters too. Basic safety glasses are cheap. Hearing protection is affordable. These are small investments that protect your eyes and ears long term. Never skip safety to save a few dollars. That is never worth it. So let's break down a realistic budget. Tape measure, square, pencil, around $30 total. Circular saw, around $50 to $70, depending on the brand. Cordless drill kit, maybe $60 to $80. Sandpaper and clamps, another $20 to $30. Safety gear, about $20. You're right around that $200 mark, sometimes even under if you shop smart or buy lightly used tools. And here's something most people overlook. You can buy tools secondhand. Many people purchase tools for one project and never use them again. Check local marketplaces. Check garage sales. Quality tools at half the price are common if you look with patience. The key idea is this: start small, build skill, reinvest later. Once you complete a few projects, your confidence grows. When confidence grows, your projects improve. When your projects improve, upgrading tools becomes a decision based on need, not impulse. Imagine building a simple floating shelf for your home. You measure carefully, you cut with control, you sand until smooth, you mount it securely, then you step back and look at something you built with your own hands. That feeling is powerful. It changes how you see yourself. You are no longer someone who only buys things. You are someone who creates them. That shift is more valuable than any expensive machine. A lot of people wait until they feel ready. They watch dozens of videos, they compare brands for months, they research endlessly. But skill is built by doing, not by watching. Your first cuts may not be perfect. Your first project may not look like something from a magazine. That is normal. Progress beats perfection, every time. If you want to make this even easier, I put together a simple list of beginner-friendly tools and options in the description. It includes reliable choices that stay within that $200 range and help you avoid wasting money on things you do not need. If you prefer clarity instead of confusion, take a look at it after this. Woodworking does not reward overthinking. It rewards action. The sooner you make your first cut, the sooner you start learning real lessons. The sooner you build your first project, the sooner you see what you are capable of. Keep your setup lean. Focus on the basics. Measure well, cut steady, sand patiently, assemble with care. Those simple steps, repeated again and again, build real skill. The goal is not to own every tool. The goal is to build. Every experienced woodworker started with limited tools. Every expert once struggled with straight cuts. The difference between them and everyone else is simple. They started. Less than $200 is not a barrier. It is an opportunity to be disciplined. It forces you to focus on essentials. And when you master the essentials, everything else becomes easier. There is something deeply satisfying about turning raw wood into something useful. A shelf that holds books, a bench that supports weight, a box that stores tools. These are simple objects, but they represent growth. They represent skill earned step by step. You do not need permission. You do not need perfection. You need a small set of tools, a clear plan, and the decision to begin. Start with less, learn more, build often, and let your skill, not your spending, define your progress.